Alright guys, it's campfire story time. So hopefully the audio sounds good, and hell, video is going to be epic. It's of a fire. How can you not get into that? But yeah, as I'm sitting here and thinking of this park, I'm thinking of the people that I've met, and I wanted to kind of like start giving stories about them. And this one starts back at Yellowstone. So I'm not sure what Yellowstone was. Maybe that was like episode 15 ish. I don't know. But when we went to Yellowstone, we wanted to go up the Pole Bridge access. And we started going up there, and then we hit this dirt road. And this dirt road was like, it was pretty damn brutal. Now, in a regular car, it wouldn't have been that bad. It would have been bumpy and like rattly. But in a camper, oh, it was rough. And we traveled about 5 or 6 miles on this thing. And now, I know how to drive. So I was going a little bit faster. And I was picking the smooth spots in the road. Along with like kind of going at an angle, 45 across the hard ripples. But Zach and Tyler were behind me, and Tyler was driving. And, sometimes you think everything's going okay. We're just gonna muscle through this. We'll be just fine. But then Tyler starts flashing his lights. He's like, hey, flashing the zombie lights. He's flashing like all the lights. I'm like, what's going on? So then I go ahead and I stop, and then he comes out and he's like, this is a horrible idea. This is terrible. He's like, my mirror fell off. Like, something's gonna break. It's gonna be bad. And I was like, you know what? That's a real good point. And then as we're talking, this Chevy truck passes us, and he goes up maybe another 300 yards or so, and then I see his friggin' axle gives way, and his whole like left rear wheel kind of comes out like a foot or so. So like he broke, right? So it was good intuitiveness from Tyler, like, hey, like this is not good. So then we turned around, and then we went back. We saw this like little output like area, and it was the most off-roading that the rigs did in the trip. Tyler was like, no, this is not good. But I was like, no, if we hit it at this angle, this direction, like we'll be good, right? So we did, and then we got in there, and then we noticed, oh, this was like a little shooting range, like that the locals had kind of like set up, right? So we went over there, and we kind of set up camp there. And then the next morning, we realized, oh, okay, we got some guys coming over that's going to shoot. And the first guys came over. There was two in a pickup, and they're a little bit younger, and by younger, I mean they're probably like sub 50 or sub 45. And they couldn't shoot worth a shit. I was looking at them through the binoculars, man. They couldn't hit fucking anything. It was ridiculous. But then we then another truck comes up, and it was Tom. And the reason I know it was Tom was another truck pulls up, and I'm like, oh, I see this, older cat get out, and he's like 60, 70-ish. So, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to these guys. I might go talk to these other guys. So I walk over, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? And, hey, I'm James. And then he's like, oh, I'm Tom. And then we struck up a conversation. And Tom was a very, very, very interesting cat. Tom used to live in, what was it? Montana, one or the other. I'm getting them mixed up. Montana or Wyoming, wherever we were. I think we were in Montana, and he used to live in Wyoming. And he is like, yeah, he's like, as soon as they put the fucking freeway in, he's like, it was just too much goddamn noise. He's like, I fucking moved out of there. I came up here, and that's when, we came up here. And the reason I bring that up is I'm sitting here, and we're out pretty far, but, I still hear highway noise. And I'm like, man, it'd be so much better if I didn't hear that highway noise. And I related to Tom. And Tom, what a good cat, dude. Like, this guy had I think it was like I don't know, maybe it was like a 3.5 something Creedmoor. He had a fucking AR-10. He had a 22 that he just got. Him and his wife were for their, 40th or 50th anniversary or some shit. He was showing me his armor-piercing rounds, and it was pretty epic. I really liked Tom. And he was telling me about his son, who was 50, and he was a trail boss, trail something like that. And from what I gather, a trail boss would be one of those guys who lead the way or tell the guys what to do if there's a big wildfire or something. I'm not too sure about that, but that's kind of what I related it to. But he seemed very proud that his son had made a trail boss, and rightfully so. Becoming a boss of anything is tough. It's a whole different level of responsibility. But Tom and his, he was great. And then, but now if we compare him to those other young boys who were over there shooting, when I was watching Tom shoot, he was hitting this rock that was up on he was shooting this rock that was up on the hill, and he was fucking hammering it. Like, every round was on point. And it was whack, 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 whack. He was doing some damage to that rock. That rock won't be there much longer if Tom keeps going over there. But he just put a few rounds down range. I would say maybe 30 to 50, 60 rounds or so, tops. But he was a great cat, talked to him, really enjoyed his conversation and his story. And I'm sitting here and I heard that highway noise, and I figured I'd share with you guys the story of Tom. And that is really what this trip has been about for me, is about meeting people and hearing their stories and just enjoying the moment, and hearing about others' lives and not getting caught up in everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know that you enjoyed looking at the campfire. Come on, who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like it?